The Jefferson Parish Council votes unanimously to pull the tax-exempt status of the Bellemont Apartments in Metairie.
Our Fox 8 Defenders reports on the complex and two others owned by a religious nonprofit prompted a change to the state constitution to allow for today's actions. Here's our latest Fox 8 Defenders report.
The Bellemont Apartments really got on my radar shortly after I was sworn in. I mean, literally the ink wasn't dry, I don't believe, and the Bellemont was on my radar. And that's in large part, actually in total part, due to the reporting of Meg Gatto.
Jefferson Parish Councilwoman Arita Bohannon says it was this visit touring the inside of the Bellemont Apartments with us in January that moved her.
That guy can't fight for himself, you know, so anyway, I'm sorry.
At Wednesday's council meeting, Bohannon showed her colleagues what she witnessed.
I was shocked and appalled when he explained to me that his 3 children who live in these conditions with him, he would set his alarm to wake up early before they would get up so that he could remove any rodents that they had caught the night before. The gentleman that I met with cannot have his children bathe in his apartment because he hasn't had hot water in over a year.
We first started reporting on the Bellemont 2 years ago.
Mold right here, mold throughout my living room, my hallway. I have really bad termites in my room.
Those are termites?
Yes, those are termites.
Look at that, that's mold. It be soaking wet everywhere. It's mold.
What sort of symptoms have you had?
My eyes, they get big, puffy. Nose, sometimes I can't even get up sometimes. Cough all the time.
Since 2022, the parish's code enforcement department received over 65 complaints about the property. It currently has 10 open code enforcement violations and owes the parish over $7,000 in fines.
They have several contempt hearings pending. They have several code violations outstanding. And yet this is what we found Friday.
The Bellemont is owned by a religious nonprofit from Tennessee, Ministry Outreach Foundation, also known as Global Ministries Foundation. It owns the Willows in New Orleans East and Park Fontaine in Algiers. The nonprofit is led by Reverend Richard Hamlet. Because of its status, it doesn't pay taxes on the complexes.
You are no charity. You use the guise of God to take advantage of people, and it's disgusting. And today I'm asking this council to put an end to it. We have an obligation to the people who live there.
With a unanimous vote, the council agreed Wednesday to pull the Bellemont's tax-exempt status, to the praise of residents there.
I'm glad my prayers are being answered, that somebody is opposing GMF.
The financial implications of this action mean the Bellemont will now be paying Jefferson Parish $187,000 in taxes each year. It's possible because of a constitutional amendment that was passed by Louisiana voters last October that allows any municipality across the state to pull a nonprofit's tax-exempt status if it owns housing that's a health or safety risk. Our reporting on the nonprofit and its 3 complexes prompted the constitutional amendment. Jefferson Parish is the first parish locally to utilize this new tool.
They've abused our resources, and today we take some of our resources back.
Let this be a warning to the people who shirk their responsibility, that we're not going to tolerate it, and this is a great first step.
We've reached out to Reverend Richard Hamlet for comment today, but never heard back. The nonprofit will receive its first tax bill for the Bellemont later this fall. If you have a consumer issue you'd like us to look into, call the Fox 8 Defenders, staffed with volunteers from the National Council of Jewish Women, or fill out our online complaint.